Hello and welcome to this tutorial about RekordBox 3.0. My name is Arjun Sharma and I'm a DJ who really likes playing on the CDJs and the DJ mixers. So I find RekordBox a very valuable tool for playing because my loops never go wrong. Everything's in sync, and it just makes life much more easier and for people who want to play on CDJs and such. So let's fire up RekordBox and see how this goes. So there's my RekordBox. You can install RekordBox for Windows and for Mac. It's the same. It ends up looking like this. After you've installed RekordBox, it asks you for your Kuvo ID, which you can register on the website and such. If you want, I can make another tutorial. Just leave a comment below. But after you've installed RekordBox, I'm on a Mac, so let me just show you how to prepare RekordBox for using. So first things first, you go to RekordBox and then you have your preferences. Command comma on a Mac or even on Windows, it's easy to find this little thing. So you just click on your preferences. First things first, view language English. You want that font, up to you. Layout, number of hotkeys. I'm guessing most of you will be using this for the CDJ, so you can forget about the XDJs. Tree view, if you have iTunes, well, you can use iTunes or the Explorer. Both work. Explorer is basically your file explorer, your Windows Explorer, or your Finder when it comes to a Mac. Everything else you just might want to kind of take a look. Playlist palette, display cue markers. These just help you to use RekordBox and your tracks a little easier. Now, I'm going to leave this here for a moment so that you can take a look at how I've got my RekordBox set up. Now, moving on, audio. Now, since we don't have linked monitors of Pioneer DJ mixers, I'm just going to leave it there. Metronome. A lot of people would like to use metronome to figure out how their tracks are sounding, whether they're in sync or not. But I'm just going to, let that be there. And the audio, I'm going to have it. I'm running a microbook too, so let's leave it there. Sample rate and such. Output 1, output 2. Pretty much the same standard stuff. Sample rate is 44.1 Hertz, which is CD rate. That's fine. And we go to analysis. Oh, by the way, in audio, you might, if you don't have a sound card like I have my microbook, you might want to keep it built-in output. That'll help you find. That'll help you listen to what you want to listen to, your tracks and such. So analysis. This is the most important part that I've seen. When you're playing dance music, say 4/4, house, tech house, progressive house, whatever, you want to keep it normal because this is pretty much like the beat grid in Tractor. What it does is it helps you make sure that your downbeat, which is the first beat, and your bars are in sync and they're perfectly analyzed and such. Now the dynamic comes when you are playing, say, retro or something which has slightly I should say non-4/4. So what it does is it then allows for changing BPMs. So that's what the dynamic is for, say rock or retro, and if you want to mix in and such. But for dance music, I prefer normal. Dynamic is for changing BPMs, but if you have a constant BPM throughout the track, I'd say go with normal. Allow analysis while LAN is connected is when you have you can connect RekordBox on your laptop to all your players and your mixers. So this is for that. I don't normally do it, but we're concentrating on how to get a pen drive or an external hard drive ready for playing on a CDJ and such. So I'm just going to leave that open. Set memory queue at the first beat of track when analyzing works. Basically, it's your first calls. It's the first memory bank. It doesn't really work for me because I'll be enabling queue point every time that I analyze a track. So let's just leave it there. Enable key analysis and import. This really works. If you know your keys, D sharp minor, whatever key your track is in, this will analyze that key and write the value to the ID3 tag. I use a different software, so I'm leaving these both I'm just not enabling these. Concurrent process mode performance normal. What performance does it uses the full power of your processors and such. So when I'm running RekordBox, I don't really run anything else, so that's cool. The bridge, I don't really use much bridges for the iTunes to RekordBox, so I'm not going to be touching this at all. device, create library exclusively for CDJ. This is what we want here. So we have the options of the XDJ-R1, MEP 4000, whatever you want. I think it has a different sound system, rather file format system. I play on the CDJs and I haven't touched the MEP or the XDJ-R1 yet. I'm guessing there's a little more options for the XDJ-R1 and a different file format for MEP. So that's cool. I'm just gonna walk through the CDJ or the XDJ Aero and the XDJ thousands for now. Then you have these options: delete playlist tracks from device if playlist is deleted. So basically, if you delete a playlist from RekordBox here, it'll delete the same playlist from the device as well. This is handy when you're playing for one gig and you have that playlist, and then you don't want to play that again to start. You don't want to repeat the same tracks. It helps there. So I just remove the playlist tracks from device if the playlist is deleted. History is import the play history automatically. Basically, if you've played a track in a gig, it shows you that you played the track. So next time you import, you might know that if you're playing in regular in a club, if you played one track yesterday and you kind of synced your pen drive again, then well, it imports the play history automatically, and then you can decide whether you want to play that or not. CDJ, what this does is basically you can when it comes to sorting your music on the player, you can have these categories: active categories and inactive categories. What you want, what you don't. I like my artist, I like the key, I like the file name. These are the options that I want shown when I am searching for, or this is how I want my playlist to look. I can search by track, I can search by key, artist, playlist, history, by search. I can search alphabetically, or the folder or the file name. Again, sorting, what all I can do by genre, date added and such. You pick and choose what you want. I just prefer the artist, BPM and the key. And comes the column, select item which is next to I actually would like key shown next to track name on CDJ. So this shows what you want shown next to the track name on the CDJ. It's pretty much evident there. And then my settings. These are settings that you can do on the CDJ. Play mode single, I like single or continuous. You can always change these. These can be found in the menu/utility button of the CDJ 2000 or the 900 Nexus or the 2000 Nexus. And you can change all these options in LCD brightness and such. Now the hotkeys. Prepare hotkeys autoload setting for CDJ use on import. So you want that if you're going to be using hotkeys a lot like I do. Keyboard, little shortcuts that you can use. Advanced, nothing much else. You can add my tags or self-explanatory options here. So just compatibility with old version. If you've been using an old version of RekordBox and you want to use RekordBox 3.0, automatically fix misalignment of beat grid for MP3 files which have been imported before 1.5.4. So you want these on. Well, that's just about it in the preferences. Next, here we go. Alright, so this is the basic part of making a playlist and making a playlist folder, and how you want to sort your playlists and folders. So let's just say that I have a gig in the next few days and I want to prepare. So this is what I would do. So if you see, I have all these little playlists and folders as well. Now here's the advantage with RekordBox. It allows you to create both folders as well as playlists. Now for example, here's the plus sign. It says create new playlist. Now I can create a new playlist. I'll call this tutorial playlist 1, right? And I can create another tutorial playlist. I'll say tutorial playlist 2. Yeah. Now why I created sorry about that. Why I created 2 playlists is because I also want to show you what a playlist folder looks like. Let's just delete that. Now, let's just first add tracks to our playlist, both 1 and 2. Now, adding tracks is very easy. You might wonder what these little things are, these little windows, and this. This playlist 1, this is the window for the playlist 1. and it shows what all the track contains. I mean, the playlist contains what all tracks the playlist contains, and then you can add these playlists here, here, and here. So you can have four. You can compare four playlists. So if I had tutorial, I can drag tutorial playlist 1, playlist 2 here, probably something else here, and another track here, another playlist here. So you can compare what you want where. And if you want to remove them, just remove from palette. Remove from palette. That works. So just going to remove these from the palette. Okay. Let's just get back. Here you have two players. You might not see these the first time you run RekordBox. If you want to see this outlay, all you have to do is here. You see this little show one player, show two players, show the simple player, and hide the player. So hide the player looks like this, where you just have your tracks in your palette, so you can compare playlists. And then one player shows the palette, and you can check how each track sounds. Two players shows these two tracks, these two players, so you can kind of figure out what each how each track sounds with another track. And then there's the single player, where you can individually set the beat grid, check the metronome, set cue points, set memories, hot cues, and probably write out the info. So I'm gonna go with two players because I really like I like checking out tracks that I haven't heard yet, but I want it to be analyzed with RekordBox and then figure out how they sound. So that's that. And so yeah, we figured out how to write new playlists. Once you've written these two new playlists, now let's add some music. So tutorial playlist 1. Adding music to your playlist is very easy. Once you've created the playlist, make sure that playlist is highlighted, and you can go to wherever you have your music, and let me just music some of my tracks, and you can just simply add these, drag and drop, and that's that. There you have, right? And tutorial play, let me just add another track here for whatever. So there I have it. Now one thing you need to understand, that wave is you can add waves, you can add mp3s, but any other format isn't really acceptable by RekordBox. So let's just say you have these two, right? And I have another playlist. I'm just going to add a couple of tracks here. Before we go there, what I can, this is playlist 1. Now let's just say that I have a certain order in which I want to play these two tracks, or maybe if I had another track, let me just add this too, right? Now if I wanted to play this track first, this second, and this third, I can just simply drag the order. So that would, and your playlist, when you open this entire playlist in RekordBox or on the player, it would actually show you 1, 2, 3, and this is the order in which you can actually plan your set and get them done, and play the set from track 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not a problem, and it'll stay the same even in the player. So once we have this, I'm just gonna add a couple more tracks, or okay, let's add a couple more tracks here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Cool. Now remember when we talked about these palettes, if you see, this is analyzing, so you want to make sure that all these tracks are analyzed, because once it analyzes, you have all these waveforms that can be shown even on the player. So let me just drag tutorial playlist 2 here and playlist 1 here. So I have these two playlists, and I can compare. I can probably open up another playlist here and check how these are working. Probably I can hear another few playlists to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and I can add that to the playlist. Say for example, if this worked with this track, then I could just simply drag these two here in that order, there and there. If you notice, they've aligned themselves in the order that I dragged them in. And if you don't like the way that this flow works, you can simply delete these. Remove from playlist. Yes. Remove from playlist. Cool. So now we have two playlists. What I did want to talk to you about before we get anywhere else is a folder. So on the playlist, right click and you can create new folder. So what the folder does is it can hold playlists, and if you're someone like me who likes to have all his music in a certain order or in a certain order more like. For example, here I have this deep tune folder which has 1, 2, 3, 4 playlists. So basically, this is deep tune, but various energy levels is what I've written, is what I've um, sorted them as. Yeah. So you can simply add this playlist into the folder, drag and drop them. There you go. So the tutorial folder now has playlist 1 and playlist 2. So it's always good to have them as a folder. Probably if you're working in a club, you can probably have this folder as the name of the club, and your playlist inside will have probably Bollywood or hip hop or whatever, down tempo, chill out, whatever you want, and you can just simply keep adding new playlists inside the folder too. That works well. Now once you've got this, we have our, you can add as many tracks as you want, and you can always see playlist info. Yeah, you'll see what all you have, and based on the number of tracks, you'll know how much space that your drive needs. Right now that you have the tutorial folder with its 2 playlists, what I'm going to do is, let me do another thing. Yeah, let's just add another playlist here and call it playlist, just simply call it 3. Now 3, I'm going to add a couple more tracks into 3. 1, 2 and 3. Wait for them to analyze themselves. There we go. Yeah, so now we have analysis done. Now you have all our playlists ready. You have your folders ready in which you want your playlist done. After that, what you want to do is you want to send them into your external pen drive and export them. So let's just plug in our pen drive. I know you can't see it, but I'm kind of searching for my pen drive. Right? Oh, okay, there it is. Now I've got my pen drive plugged in to my USB station, my USB hub. Yeah, got it plugged in. Now once I plug in my drive, you see that it shows up here, right? HP, whatever. Now this doesn't have much in it. So what you can do, a good thing to do if you're using it for the first time, is simply right click, and this is a way of formatting this. How do I format categories or my settings? There was a way of formatting this. Devices. Okay. Right click, delete my setting. No, this was, I think it's in preferences, device. Okay, so let's just say that you want to format this. You really want you want a fresh drive. Good thing to do is kind of eject this from RekordBox. Let's just say that it has some data. You don't want to lose all the data, so what you can do is minimize RekordBox and go back to your browser, wherever that may be. Now, as you can see that Mac has ejected my drive 2 at the same time. So you want to quit RekordBox, plug in your drive into your USB slot. There you go. And once it is highlighted, and you can see that I can see this here, you want to format this hard drive, and for that Windows has a option where you can format it right from the browser itself. But since Mac doesn't have that, there's another way of doing is go into your applications, utilities, disk utility, and click on whatever you want, whichever drive that is you want to format. Erase. The format that you need to have is MS-DOS FAT, and the name I can write tutorial here. Tutorial. Cool. Right? And erase. Erasing a disk deletes all data. Disk is unformatted. Erase. And it takes a little time to do it, just a wee little time. And there you have it. So tutorial is now back on where we want it. And if on a Mac, if you say get info, it shows you MS-DOS FAT32. That's what you want. Now if you're on a Mac, advantage with Pioneer RekordBox and Pioneer players is they accept only 2 forms. Mac HFS journaled, HFS Mac version, or FAT32. For all purposes, I'd say keep it on FAT32 or Mac, whichever you're comfortable with. I prefer mine having on Mac because It's faster as a file system, but in case you have to use it on 2-3 different systems and one of them is Windows, you might want to keep it FAT32. Cool. Now let's just fire up RekordBox again, and if you see that our playlists are still in place, that's a beauty of RekordBox. Tutorial folder 3 and our playlist. Right now in the devices we already have a tutorial. Now this is as simple as just going to sync manager and device volumes tutorial. It's going to show up here wherever you want to, whatever hard drive that you put in. I mean, whether you renamed it or not, it's going to show you the device. And then you say synchronize playlists with the device. Now you have the option of all playlists, or you can select the playlist that you want. So you just say, we say tutorial folder and 3, right? So you can sync an entire folder or just the playlist that you created. Now once you've done this, you just press this button, synchronizes playlist to a selected device, and you do that and close. Now if you watch exporting volumes tutorial, it takes a little time for it to export the entire hard drive, export it to the hard drive, whatever tracks that you did want. So once this is done 100%, all you have to do is eject. Oh, that it's moving. I think we'll just check on how that goes. Now while that's finishing, let me remind you that there's a really nice feature about RekordBox. Now the playlist tutorial that we have, tutorial playlist 1. Now I'm going to do something that really makes sense for a lot of people, especially if they're playing regularly, and it's a really nice feature that I think RekordBox is built in. Now this is our drive, right, tutorial, and it's exporting whatever songs or whatever tracks that we put in it. It's exported, it's done. Eject. Well, you have to eject. Once you eject, pull out your drive, and then now this playlist, say tutorial playlist 1. What if I added another track here? Just dragged and dropped. I felt that another track really would sink in there. It would make sense. It would fit into that. Now watch what happens. All I'm doing right now is I'm closing down my playlist. All I'm doing is plugging in my drive again. Watch what happens. My drive is plugged in. It's showed up on the devices pane. Now when I click on tutorial, it reads tracks and it's exporting. What it's exporting is this new track that I put in. And after that, if you look at your devices tutorial playlist and check your tutorial folder, tutorial playlist 1 will have the new track too. So that's that, and that's as simple as that. Eject and you're good to go.